Hello everyone, 5 o'clock, mail call. It's not Wednesday, it's Friday. I'm just gonna give everyone a minute to jump on. Wanted to apologize for missing Wednesday's mail call. We had quite a big day on Wednesday. So on Wednesday morning, I dropped off Carlene to her doctor's appointment. She took Larky. I'm just going to give you a summary of the day because Wednesday was a big day. And then she went to her doctor's appointment. She had a couple at the same time. She likes to hang out in the lobby at the Leahy Hospital in Danvers. And she gives out monkey fists to patients coming and going. So I left her there at 9 o'clock in the morning, probably 8:45. And then I drove an hour to go to Lincoln, Mass. And saw, I'm going to say, can't remember, over 30 people there. Brought chickens and a bunch of dogs. And on top of it, we're getting ready for this big event that we had here on Wednesday night. So got back here, we had food to pick up, we had lots of moving parts, and by mid-afternoon, like I had my schedule all organized. And you know, when you run an event like that, it's the last hour becomes really critical, and everything was kind of running on schedule. And unfortunately, that black goat that you always see that's loose around here, nobody was really paying attention in Donkey Cafe at that time. Everybody was doing their own thing, kind of running here and there. And but everything was on schedule. It was really good. We had white tablecloths that were on the tables, glasses, wine glasses, water glasses, the plates, silverware. I guess we had Michelle. I guess there's two sets of plates that people eat off of, and the plates when they arrive that are on the table. So the ones that I think they call them design plates, were out, thanks to Michelle, as I didn't even know there was a difference. So everything was organized, and the goat came out. The first thing he did, nobody noticed. They're white tablecloths. On the one tablecloth, he just kind of smudged and got dirt on it. On the other one, which made us all notice, he tried to climb up. He was trying to get the flowers, because we had the flowers. They were they're hydrangeas. He's trying to get at the hydrangeas, and so he made it halfway up on the table, knocking over glasses and making quite a mess. So then we had to take everything off and change the tablecloths. Luckily, we had extras, and get the tablecloths back on. Everything all set up, and I really it came down to the hour. People were arriving, and I was still in my sweaty barn clothes. So everyone keeps asking me, I can read comments at the same time. The carpenter's name, there's two carpenters' names. I know I'm changing subject. I'll get back to the event on Wednesday. There's Chris, who's the younger one, and Chris is Wallace's, and Bao, who is the guy who drives the little Ford SUV, and Bao is he's the kind of handyman. Oh, okay. Oh, they were. All right, we're back. So, the event on Wednesday, people started showing up. We had 13 people for dinner, and this was all funded by the donor, who was, you guys probably all know by now, her name is Christine. I grew up with her. She gave us a very sizable donation. Her husband is a financial guy and had a financial company, I don't even know, but he sold his company and gave us a sizable donation, and we agreed that we would have this wine tasting, and she would invite some of her, it was a strategic, the people that were there were one person was a former DJ, very connected in this area. Another person, there were people that were, and they're all animal lovers. And so potentially more will come out of that party, because we've just kind of gained some good, deep pocketed, hate to describe these friends as deep pockets, but that's when you're in the nonprofit business, you start to have to classify friends as who could be supportive of your mission. They were all invited to dinner because they would be supportive of the mission, and I think it was wildly successful. The team really came together well. Justin was fantastic. He cooked a lovely meal with filet and scallops, and we had cheesecake for dessert. Benoit brought wine, and he did the wine tasting with some very high-end wines because he distributes wine. He has a small, well, it's not even small. He has a wine business. He distributes wine from France. So he brought wine, and that all went. And the animals performed perfectly. I did the normal routine with bringing the donkeys out and goats and Elvis, and this was also kind of a pilot study of whether we could use Donkey Cafe as a fundraising engine for Goldy's farm, because I'm trying to explore the grant thing. I've written a bunch of grants, and I will go back to doing grants again when I'm in Aiken, but it just doesn't seem like that's a good source of funds for nonprofits of our size. I don't know why we're not getting any luck with the grants that I've written. Some of them I haven't even received any word back whether we got them or didn't get them, but I did 7 of them. And I think I've mentioned this before and said that we weren't going to get the grant. We didn't get the Cummings grant. I think it's because we're just new. And so I'm looking into other ways, and I figured we have to take advantage of close proximity of the router thing. So is to take advantage of the assets that we have, which is a great set of animals and Donkey Cafe, and Justin who cooks, and the wine that Benoit has for his business. So it's all good. So that worked. We are looking. I'm kind of trying to figure out what our next move is. I'm working with someone from the group that was here the other night. We're talking about, I'd like to do it sooner rather than later because of the weather, but we're talking about trying to line up another wine tasting in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and a definite luncheon the second week in September. I'm working with Michelle on that one. She's got some people and combining people, and we're going to do a luncheon, a ladies' luncheon, which is good. So you're going to see a lot more on, hopefully you'll see a lot more on that. And but it was definitely very, very stressful, the first one, because we didn't have plates, we didn't have silverware, we didn't have glasses, and on top of it, we have a full schedule with Goldy's farm. You'll see, as you see people coming and going, and the trucks. I go down the driveway every day, 5 days a week, to nursing homes, so it's hard to fit in a lot of other stuff. And so oftentimes we have people coming here in the farm in the afternoon for visits. So, but we did manage to get everything organized thanks to Facebook Marketplace. I found a good set of tablewares of not china, but they're very pretty plates, and then I got silverware at the dollar store, and then originally I was going to just rent all of the silverware and plates and everything that we needed, but it was like $160 just for the glasses, and then it went up with adding plates and everything else, and I was like, that's too expensive. So I went to Facebook Marketplace and I got a whole set of very pretty plates for $50. And then I went to the Salvation Army and I got 41 wine glasses for $30 and washed them all. And then I went to the dollar store and I just got regular silverware. It cost like $20, and enough silverware for 16 people. So that was all good. So so the Donkey Cafe party went well. if you guys saw the pictures on Facebook, or you actually were here to watch some of the guests coming in, but we have the birds that were born here, the little baby birds. I'm trying to take them out as much as I possibly can so that they will turn into nice therapy chickens. And as you know, we have 3 therapy chickens that I use on a regular basis. 2 of them that I brought down to Aiken, and then there's the big girl, the big fluffy girl, and she's the one that I bring those 3, and but then we accidentally had a few baby chicks born, so I'm trying to work with them. 2 of them are matching, so I can actually put those 2 on people's shoulders, and I try to handle them a little bit every day so that they get comfortable. And I brought them a couple times last week, and boy, people had fun with those, especially like staff putting them on the shoulders. I'll share some pictures of how cute that is to see people having the 2 birds. And then there's a couple little birds that are little chicken birds, so the 4 of them. And you might have noticed that we dragged down the Elizabeth and Nick had it came from Meredith, this really nice bird cage, and so we put the baby chicks and all that in the bird cage in Donkey Cafe, and that worked out really well. And yes, I washed the golf cart, and I had the people parked down in the parking pitch, which has been completely cleared of all the crap that was there before. So it's a nice big open flat area. They parked there, and then Isaiah drove down and picked them up, and that was a nice fun way to shuttle everyone down to Donkey Cafe. So I don't think it could have gone. And then at the end of the evening, the donkeys actually, Magnus and Dimitri came into the Donkey Cafe after everyone had eaten. I let them out, and they mingled with the crowd. It was really pretty funny. I got some good pictures there. The vision that I had is, if you've ever seen that place in, I know they're dealing with giraffes, the place in Africa where you can go and have breakfast with the giraffes. I'm thinking this is something similar to that, but it's donkeys and it's in Ipswich. So it's a unique experience that I think somehow that would be able to be a good fundraising opportunity for us, because the problem that I have experienced, and every nonprofit has experienced, is there's so many nonprofits and there's so many things and people and animals and everything that are in need, that it's a struggle for any nonprofit to survive in 2026. So I try to find unique ways to engage people, like mail chat, and but that's my mother's idea, but unique ways to bring people together to follow our cause. So I think that kind of falls in that category, and hopefully we'll get people jazzed up to come to Goldy's farm and enjoy the animals. So that was Wednesday. Just an update. Let's see. So this week, God, we were everywhere. Today we went to a new nursing home in Haverhill and had a really nice visit. And we saw close to 40 people. We brought Piggy, and Piggy's just so fabulous. I've kind of, as you go along, you learn the animals well. And you can't once you bring out we bring the dogs in, and I always make the joke is, can you guys, when you go into an activity room, there's a group of people, usually in a circle. You go in, and Justin goes in with the dogs, and Piggy follows him in, and I always walk in behind and say, can anyone tell me which one of these is unlike the others? And so then they laugh, and they're like, oh, that's a Piggy. And Piggy's like very cuddly and wants to talk to everybody and gets little scratches here and there and kind of wanders around. But then when you bring out the food, he's all business. He just wants his cookies, and he's such a different pig when he just wants the cookies, and he follows the pan and doesn't want to talk he just wants cookies. He wants cookies. So, then we did, everybody gets to feed him a cookie, and I always take time so that the staff, because remember, it's not just about bringing the bringing the animals to see all the seniors, but to boost up morale of the staff. So all the staff came out and they got pictures with the donkey, they got pictures of Piggy, Larky. It was really good. And the woman said to me before I was leaving, she's like, there's a woman that she never comes out of her room. She hasn't left her room in a couple months, but she heard that there was a pig down here, and she asked for the staff to take her out of her room. And so she brought me over, and we saw this woman, and Piggy, of course, saw the woman, and I brought the donkey over, and she got some pictures with the donkey. She seemed very happy. Those are the little tidbits of news that we get on every visit. And then there was a rabbi there today who stopped me at the end and asked if we could go and do some events with him. He, he has church. He has groups of people and I said no, only because I said, well, my question is always when like someone pulls you aside, and I know that they're probably a good person and they have good causes and all that sort of stuff. And he's like, we have groups of kids that we work with. And I'm like, well, are they disabled? And he's like, no, they're perfectly. And I'm like, are they poor? Do they have anything wrong with them? And he's like, no, they're all. So I said to say no, because our mission is for seniors, disabled, veterans. And he had able-bodied. So, I said that no. And that happens all the time. And I feel badly saying no, because I don't like to say no in general, but we are, it's expensive what we do, and our staff is pretty thin, because it's like Justin and Justin and Isaiah sometimes goes with me. Michelle went and brought her dog last week. So, but it's just, we don't have a lot of people. Elizabeth's super busy with Meredith, so she's focused on that. So it's just we don't have a lot of we got to stay true to our mission, is what I'm trying to say. So, and that is seniors, veterans, and the disabled. So I recommended places he could go, but unfortunately he'd have to pay them. So okay, so what do I have in mind for the Donkey Fest? I'm thinking October 3rd might be a good weekend. I'm pushing that out there unless anyone tells me otherwise. October 3rd is the date. Someone sent me an email. It was nice to get a nice email. Someone sent me a nice email today asking if we could do the spirit sticks again. I think that's a great idea, especially in light of Hilda and Betty and many other people that we've all enjoyed and loved. And so we'll be doing that. We will have whoever wants to come and visit, we can make accommodations for people at the Ferncroft, similar to what they did with the Service Dog Project. I can help do accommodations. We're a little crowded here on the farm, but we can help find accommodations and do, shuttle people in and out of the airport and things like that. But I think that would be a really fun weekend. We'll do donkey walks and some more surprises as well, and make a good. And of course, Justin will be cooking for everybody, and I'm sure Benoit will throw in some wine and enjoy the farm. You guys, I'm really excited. I feel that we are at the end of the long renovations. It's taken 3 years. The farm looks fantastic. All of the projects that I wanted to get done in order to make Goldy's farm sustainable and solid, like I wanted to fix everything. They've all been fixed, and so I need to. I can now spend far less time doing construction and painting and fixing, and have more time to do other things. Okay, so Fernanda, I can block off some rooms. If people are planning on coming, just give me an idea and I will go down to the Ferncroft and block off some rooms. My sister works for the Hilton, so maybe she can help us, maybe coordinate a good rate with the Hilton. So let me ask Gwen, see what I can get out of her for once. No, picking on my sister. So yeah, that's a great idea. I'll see about getting some what she can do with a block of rooms at the Hilton. It's a Hilton Ferncroft now. So that would be good. And any other things that people want to do, and you know, I don't mind mimicking some of the activities that the Service Dog Project had that you enjoyed. And yeah, so I thought that was a good thing. I know we had talked about doing it last year, but I think this is the year that we finally have all the renovations done, and we're open for business for Goldy's Warriors to come and visit. So let's see. Next week, this August, we've only had there will be lots of parking on site. Yes, we've got the whole with lots of parking, got lots of room, so don't worry about that. Let's see. Anything you must have done an outstanding job. Yeah. So next week, we have a full week again. I can't even remember where we are, like what places we're going to. I know that we only had one day off in August, and that was the 5th. So the rest of the week, I know we're busy, and hopefully things are running smoothly. So. Yay. Is there any other questions you guys have? I know that people were asking about the plan for the winter, and I do have a plan for the winter. Don't worry, that is in place. We are, like what I did last winter is, as my mother's always taught me that, and I do this in Aiken too, but that to use your real estate as a always use your real estate as an income source. So down in Aiken, I have an apartment. I rent the apartment to a guy named David. He takes care of, not only does he pays discounted rent, he takes care of my property when I'm gone, and I don't have to worry at all. I worry about nothing. He mows the grass, he fixes anything that's broken. And the plan is with David is when I'm down there, if I have animals down there, then I will, he's responsible for taking care of them if I need to come home. So I will be able to come home, and he will drop me off and pick me up at the airport. So that's a really nice opportunity for me to have a little freedom to get back here if I need to. I know that December I like to be around as much to do all the Christmas visits and wear that stupid elf costume for the 3rd year in a row. And then up here on the farm here, everybody that lives on this farm has a discounted rent, or in some cases no rent at all, but they're expected to help. And but when I'm here in the summer, I try to do as much as I possibly can all summer long, so that when I'm gone in the winter, that's when they have to step up and help. Nobody here, like everybody's on deck. Justin he works for Goldy's Farm. He gets paid for Goldy's Farm, and he also gets paid. He gets free rent and gets paid to take care of my mother. But the time that he's in the truck and trailer or helping me load for Goldy's Farm, that's on the Goldy's Farm budget. We have like little lists everywhere, and he tracks his time, what he was doing Goldy's Farm, and the time he gets paid for cooking for my mother or for all of us. So that's good. And then Isaiah, who lives in the camper, he also works 2 hours a day for my mother, and I pay him to help out with my mother. However, he occasionally goes on jobs. Yesterday he went on a job with me, and he also books his time, and when he goes on the job for Goldy's Farm, that is paid for by Goldy's. And then, however, in the winter, what I'm planning to do is I pay people. Last winter I pay people to take care of the animals while I'm gone. During the summer when I'm home, you see me, I take care of the horses every day. It's my exercise. I don't mind doing it. So, and I'm a free resource. So I'm trying to keep the numbers down. And if I keep the numbers down, and when I go to when I do jobs, like on Wednesday, I went to the job all by myself, that there's no cost for Goldy's Farm if I do the job. And I will feed all the animals for free. I don't mind. It's my exercise, my fresh air, keeps my sanity. Well, I don't really have much sanity left. It keeps it down. it's important that I try to do as much as I can, because that when I'm gone, that's when it goes to, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to put together a schedule, and whoever's on this property, I'd like them to, because they're here and less expensive, to make a schedule. Everybody gets paid a certain amount to feed that day. So it'll be Michelle, Justin, Isaiah, and if Elizabeth has time and she wants to do it, then that's fine. But then there's going to be one person who's off in the real world that doesn't work for Goldy's Farm, that's always on deck. So we got lots of coverage. And the other piece of that is it's not difficult, because we keep all the animals in a herd, the donkeys and the cows and everything. It's one big gigantic tub of water, lots of hay in the hay nets. It's pretty simple, and you just drive around with a wheelbarrow and pick up the poop every day. So it's not that complicated. It gets really challenging when you have ice and snow, I admit that. But the big horses they're the ones that get loose and go to Boxford, and they're trouble. They're trouble. I don't know why I have two big horses, but I do. Rather just have my bicycle at this point. But so the big horses will go with me to Aiken, and it'll be a much simpler flow this year. And hopefully the weather will cooperate a little bit more than it has in the past. So so that is the overall plan. I do have a plan for everybody. And this team on Goldy's Farm really works well together. You probably saw it if you watched anything on Wednesday night. There was a lot of, God, it was so cute. Isaiah and his girlfriend, Hazel, agreed to be servers. Neither one of them had ever served anything or been a wait staff before. And they were so good. Hazel, his girlfriend, was so sweet. She's, very petite. She was like, can I get you water? And they did a really great job. So, the team can come together very well. And I actually think that everybody's probably, a little happier when I'm not here. 'Cause I'm like I'm a little OCD. I like clean. I like neat. I've mentioned this before. I like clean. I like neat. I like things that I like to go someplace and know that if I go into the barn and I'm looking for a screw gun, that I can find a working screw gun. It'll have a battery that is charged and ready to go. I can find where the screw heads are, and I don't like clutter. I like the grass mode. I like everything clean and neat. And so people are probably, and I walk around, I'm like, clean that up, move that over there, just to keep the place looking good. And everybody appreciates it looking good, but it's a little, I have a feeling sometimes I'm a little bit much on everybody, because I like the driveway to be swept clean. And I use a blower. I do it though. I mow the grass as much. Oh, and I try to get my mother to mow the grass. Good to get her outside. So, so that's where we're at. Is I do have a definite plan, but I'm going to try to get a schedule together with all of the people here on the farm, and then fill it in with someone who's off the farm, so that there's always care. You don't have to worry. Everything will be fine as far as the animals are concerned. But I don't want to. Last year, I think that it was with all the storm and the snow and everything that I think that Elizabeth and Nick were feeling that it was a lot of work to take care of the animals. It is a lot of work right now. Every day, I do it twice a day, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of heavy lifting, and but I don't mind it because I don't go to a gym. So I'm trying to stretch it out across everybody, and everybody gets to sign up for their days that they want to do, just like we do Carlene. Sometimes, everybody's got to keep her entertained as well. And we will muddle through the jobs. We'll be like a skeleton crew for jobs too. We're not going to be taking any of after December, and after Christmas. That means we don't bring the donkeys anymore, or the horses, because they're too furry. And so that's the plan for the winter. So I'm looking at some more questions here. Okay. My mom's appointments. I can't remember her. She's doing fine. She had some. People had asked about her levels, her Dilantin levels. She's. I feel like she's getting younger every day. I made her clean up. the cleanup, I didn't underestimate the amount. It took me 2 days of cleaning up. So I made my mother pack up all the glasses and the plates and everything. So she was busy doing that. Okay, let's yeah. So my mother's doing really well. She's great attitude. She's calmed down quite a bit. I think she's finally, like, with all the construction and everything, she was always like, don't do this, and all right, you don't have to make it. And she drives around now. She's really happy with the farm. So that's good. And so it's, yeah. Will I be doing daily check-ins? Oh, absolutely. I'm, everything on, and that's another thing I'm going to work with Joe on camera stuff. That's, now that everything else is behind me, I'm going to make there's some networking issues on this property that, unfortunately, everything goes through the main house where Nick and Elizabeth live. That means access to those cameras. You actually have to be sitting on the front steps of their house in order to get access all the cameras. And I have tried to get access to those cameras sitting on the front steps, and only 2 of them come up on my computer. So I went and got my other laptop, and the same thing happened. So I need to get on with Montague Go and really drill down why that's happening with me. The camera people who move the cameras, and Joe, who's a network person, they don't have access because you need to be physically on the network. But Joe has an idea how we could do this VPN thing, and in theory, I think it'll work. So I'm going to work to try to set that up so that I can control the cameras from Aiken, and that will be a big relief for everybody. Having said that, too, the camera people, you may be upset with me. I don't know if this is going to be a big deal, but the light that is in the donkey stall, which used to be the donkey stall, now it's the chicken stall. These are the things I worry about, because at the end of the day, Goldy's this property is now under trust, and I am the executor of the trust. So that means that every problem on this farm is officially mine. Yay! Whether it is the goats are loose, the horses are in Boxford, the horse has her foot stuck in a fence, the chickens are loose. I know there's a chicken loose. I just looked out the window before I logged onto mail call. One of the chickens is loose. They fly up over the fence every once in a while. Anything that goes wrong on this property, it's whether the wash machine and the dryers is not working, and Justin and Isaiah can't do their laundry, whether my mother doesn't have any pants to wear. It's just it's a lot. Having said all that, I will keep a very close tie onto everything that's happening. And Judy is helping me too, although Judy's sister is now, Judy's in Hawaii with her sister, not on vacation. It's where her sister lives. And, so Judy's a little bit offline, and I know they're having bad weather in Hawaii too, but, Judy helps with some administrative work, and she does it all remotely from her house. And I'm going to be, when I'm back in Aiken, because you got to remember, today they were in Aiken. The group in Aiken still goes out twice a week too, and I'm going to expand and do a little bit more in Aiken, because when I was down there, there's a couple more places. Well, there's more places that want to see us, but the 2 we go to, they're going to bring more animals. I don't know what. This is one thing I don't know what I'm going to do about Percy. He may come to Aiken with me. He's living in the house with my mother, but I just don't know how that's going to work out when it's cold. And I got to figure that piece I have to figure out. So, but my new neighbors, my friends, Michael and Fred, who were in my apartment in the apartment last winter, they actually bought the house across the street. And they fell in love with Percy so much that they went out and got their own pig. Her name's Scarlett. Scarlett will be across the street, so I could borrow their pig. And also Angus is across the street. So I can borrow Angus again down when I'm down in Aiken to do jobs. And so that's all good. So I'm not really sure who I'm taking down. I will take a couple chickens because I like the chickens. I like having my chicken ladies. So, yeah, so back to everything on the property is my problem. So, yeah, but I think that, I think at this point, knock on wood, everything is in good working order. And, so that's what I was talking about. That's right. So I walked through the barn today and I see things that other people don't see. And when you go in through when Service Dog Project left, there was a whole bunch of wires that were just cut. And I thought, I was fairly certain that they were just cut and probably dead wires. And I went through and I pulled out a bunch of wires that I knew, like telephone cords and things like that. But there were a few of the wires that I was pretty sure that they weren't live, but not sure enough to touch them. So I was pretty sure. But they didn't have like electrical tape over the end. And so I had an electrician come in and test all the wires that he could find. And believe it or not, they were live. So I'm thankful the barn didn't burn down, but it didn't. So yay, Goldy, the ghost of the left-hand drawer. The barn didn't burn down, but I finally had all those. The electrician capped them all off properly, ripped some of them out. So knock on wood, they're already everywhere in the barn and in every building. I got fire extinguishers. I've got smoke detectors. Those, again, things you worry about. But there's a light in the donkey stall, and this is where it impacts the Goldy's farm people. Obviously, the Goldy's warriors. The light in the donkey stall, which is now the chicken stall, it was actually touching, the light bulb is touching the whiteboard that was kind of blocking the rays of the light from the camera. And I walked through and I'm like, I changed the light bulb, but it was still touching, and I tried to pull it back, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to sleep at night worrying that that is going to cause a fire. So I took down it's a shield that prevents the glare on the camera. So check that out tonight on the donkey/chicken camera, and let me know whether I need to do something else to prevent that glare. I'll just move that thing back so it can, but it's not touching. So yeah, so that's and I was a little disappointed in the Goldy's Warriors last night because I went to bed last night, was almost asleep. It was like, I don't know, probably 11 o'clock. And I bolted out of bed. You know what I forgot? I forgot to let the rabbits in. So I jumped out of bed and I ran down there, and the rabbits were having a ball outside. Sally was outside, and I put them all back in. So it's hard. You forget one thing, and there's a lot on my mind every day. A lot of people have asked me about the ducks being in what used to, I don't like calling it Honeymoon Hill anymore because I don't know, I don't really like to think of it as the place where what used to happen in Honeymoon Hill when it was Service Dog Project. So I've been calling it the garden. So the garden, which is the side, that's where the pig goes out. You guys should be able to see that area where it's on the side of the old laundry building. We call that the White House now. And I put 2 swimming pools for the ducks, and the Percy they all share. And the duck, there's a 6-foot fence around that whole thing. And I do recognize that we are inundated. We've got these 4 foxes living around here, but I don't think the fox could get in there. I don't think they could get in there. So, yeah, I don't think a fox can climb a 6-foot fence. So anyways, so they're out, and they have a little house that they can go into. I have a big sign on the door that goes out to the Honeymoon Hill /garden that says no larky, don't put larky out there. Whew. So I think I've drilled that into everyone's mind. The pig goes out there, and they go in their little pools. They were down in the pond, and they love being in the pond, the small pond by Donkey Cafe, but the foxes they're down there and they're looking for them. So I wanted to put them someplace they would have more protection, and they're impossible to catch. Last night I went out for my bike ride, and I was just about to turn onto the driveway, and I saw this little cat trotting down the middle of the road. And as I got closer, I was like, that's a fox. And I got a little closer, and I'm like, oh, and he has something in his mouth. Oh my God, is it one of our chickens? No, it was not. It had caught something. It caught a rabbit in its mouth. And I realized, and it wasn't like a big rabbit. It was like a wild, small rabbit in his mouth, and it was not alive. I realized that's just the circle of life. And although I don't like to see that kind of stuff, I felt badly for the poor little rabbit. But it is the fox have to eat too. But just don't eat my stuff or our stuff, because I like to think of none of these animals, other than Chester and Sunshine, none of these animals are mine. But they're all my responsibility. They're Goldy's Farms team. Like, the foxes should not eat anything related to Goldy's farm. But they're prowling around. And I'm really I'm surprised. I shouldn't say surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised that the fox has not gotten into the areas where those those 9 chickens are Elizabeth's chickens. They have not gotten in there, and they haven't gotten loose. So that's good. So are there any other questions? Anything that I missed? I have the comments over here too. Let's see if I have another computer up here. Let's see. Carlene's backyard. Yeah, we could call it that. Yeah. Did anyone take up the, they took all the Explore cameras out of here. Yeah. But they left all the equipment that they didn't want to use. So we recycled all that. There's a bunch of mysterious that's where all the wires came from. They're all old. They just cut out the cameras and left with the cameras. And that's what I thought these wires were. I thought they were Explore cameras, but they were actually the power to the Explore cameras, which is not good, but all good. So yeah. Let's see. I think that's all we have going on for today. I'm going to run out and feed everybody and go on for everyone. Have a great weekend. I don't know. It's going to be weird. This is the first weekend I don't have to be painting and fixing and doing anything. I might actually go for a bike ride or do something fun. I forget what that's like. It's been 3 years of this project, and it's weird to have the last Wednesday was kind of the culmination and the finality, and it's weird not to be super busy. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, but I'm sure I'll find more trouble to get into. I just know that, unfortunately, I did inherit that from my mother. So, so everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you all next Wednesday. All right. Good night, everyone.